Welcome to Been There, Done That, a podcast we launched to talk about raw, unfiltered founder stories. We listen to so many podcasts ourselves, and we figured that most of them talk about success stories after they happened. And facts and figures get distorted, plus strategies that worked 10 years ago don't work today anymore. We at Ivor wanted to launch something that tells raw, unfiltered founder stories today. And we believe we're in a unique position to do this because every year we support 35 founders to build $10 billion plus companies. We do that as founders ourselves. 40% of our full-time team have launched companies valued between 100 million and 10 billion. Therefore, we want to talk founder to founder with people on how they got from zero to $1 million ARR or from zero to a seed round. I'm Daniel Dippold and I'm the host. I'm not a professional host, but I'm a former techie, a mathematician, someone who's built tech ventures for the last 10 years. And I want to talk techie to techie, founder to founder, to people who have what it takes to create a $10 billion company. And I want to uncover the specific things they did in order to achieve that. And I hope that I can help you with those examples to build your own company. You're listening to Been There, Done That. Welcome to the show. In today's episode, I'm talking to Alfons from Tyrol. So forgive us of getting a little bit German in our accents or Austrian. You broke a record. You joined the fellowship in September, and as we are recording this in March, you're already raising on a $277 million valuation. You are building a street power plant as a former physicist. And you've been battling university professors and spin-out processes throughout. So I would be super excited to go a little bit into this today. Alfons, so great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Daniel. It's a real pleasure to be here today and have the opportunity to talk about Reps, our startup, my person, and dive hopefully into the topic of energy harvesting.
Yeah, I couldn't get more excited about an episode like this, right? Like we're going to talk about physics, we're going to talk about energy, we're going to talk about hacking startup success, right? And maybe you give us a little bit of a first glimpse into your personal story by introducing yourself and talking a little bit about the early days of your life as well. And then I'm going to, jump in with a bunch of questions.
So when I was 14 or 15 years old, I was fascinated by magnets. So my mother always tells me, she got me some small magnets when I was a young guy. Now she always gives it to her nephews because she hopes they also play with magnets. So I was very fascinated by repulsion. So where is this force coming from? You don't see it. So I was fascinated and I was ordering big magnets from Amazon, put it into my room and I was looking through the field lines. How does they look like? And my mother thought I'm going crazy. So that was the first interest in magnets. Yeah. And at the age of 10 to 15, I played 3 sports at the same time: ice hockey, football, handball. And then I needed to decide because my knees already got destroyed. So I needed to decide which sport I will choose. So I chose handball. I went a professional handball player. I earned my first money with it, signed the first contracts. And with 21, I needed to decide which path I would like to go. If I stay a professional handball player, I need to sacrifice this time just for that to become the best one. Or if I, follow my passion of physics. And that's what I did at the end, and that's how it started.
Yeah, can you invite us a little bit into your thinking back when you were 21? Yeah. What was going on in your head choosing between physics and playing handball?
Yes, so my biggest issue all my life in my handball career was I had 5 different trainers, and I always had problems with trainers. So, of course, I was very young, but I always thought we should make a different tactic. My knees hurts a lot at this time, and I thought, no, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not worth for the time and effort I give to this sport. Mm-hmm. So at the same time, I started studying physics, and I was so fascinated about everything in physics. The mechanical world, the quantum world, the big world. So I realized if I really want to become the best here or also learn a lot, I need to stop doing other things. So that's why I decided at the end becoming a physicist.
Focus is key, right? To
Yes,
anything.
focus.
Like I realized when I ended all side projects that I started after my first company and focused full time on one company only, right? Like all of the good things happened. So you already did that early in life, right? You studied physics then. Can you walk us a little bit through your research, your physics studies, the experiments you ran during that time?
Yes. So the first semesters, to be honest, were a bit boring. So I knew a lot about physics because I studied, as I said, I trained it already, also at home, and I was fascinated by different fields. But when I joined the university professors, let's say 15% of all the, how is it called, if you're in a room and they're talking, Vorlesung. Let's say I use
a lecture.
Yes, the lecture. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I wanted to use one German, but yes, so let's say 15% of all the lectures I have been there were very interesting.
Yeah.
So the rest of it, yes, what was nice, but most of them are new.
Yeah.
So I already started in the first semesters to make courses then in the second semester, which is in the sixth semester and in the fourth semester, because I wanted to see if it's getting more interested or not. So I was a very weird student because I then finished my exams in, for example, it's called Teilchenphysik.
Particle physics.
Yeah, particle physics in the fourth semester, but I was in the second semester. So that's how I jumped around, just doing that things which interests me.
Yeah. I mean, according to Plato, boredom is the key to intellect, right? So your boredom in the first semesters really triggered that exploration, right? Which turned out to be quite useful. So when did you start working on what became Reps today?
There was this one lecture where we talked a bit about energy harvesting, and it directly catched me. So I was so fascinated through the vision of turning impulses and vibrations into usable energy, so electricity. So, with the skill set you get through a study, you quickly can calculate every possible application area. So everywhere where impulses are acting, you can calculate if it could be at the end a use case where you can make a profitable business out of it. So that's where it started. I realized energy harvesting could be the game changer for energy and for climate crisis. If you just look around through the world where all these impulses are acting, you really realize the potential out of it.
Yeah.
Just for example, I know we will dive deeper into it in a later stage, but just for example, the application area roads, we could already win back 6% of the whole electricity consumption of the world, just for lost energy in traffic on roads. So then you really realize what it means when high masses with high frequencies are acting.
Yeah, it's quite crazy if you think about it, right? Also for the everyday listener, energy harvesting, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the act of taking one, part of energy that is not being used in the most effective way and, making sure it can be used by means of electricity or whatever, right? And you figured out a way, and I really want to get to how you did that, right? Like that is 200x more efficient than anything else, because it's my job now to look at all of these solutions, and we get a lot of energy harvesting solutions anywhere. We see them all the time. And I remember when I looked at your application, I almost was jaded, right? Like I was like, oh no, like not another one of
the
those.
next one.
Yeah. And then I looked at your deck and I was like, this is pretty insane. Like, does this check out? And then we talked, and then Jan Stumpf came to your side and he was like, yeah, I've been there. It checks out, and I would put in 200K on top. Is that fine? Right? And I remember this. I was like, this is unbelievable. 200 times more, right? It's insane. So it wasn't just that you realized, energy harvesting is the thing. You realized that you could do something that's never been done before, right? Was that a conscious thing, or did you just tinker around? Like, how did you arrive at this incredible system?
So at the end, I was so fascinated by the field that I really dived really hardcore deep into it.
Yeah.
So I also looked at all these applications. For example, the company which generates footsteps into electricity.
Oh yeah, from Cambridge, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
They got a great hype. Many people from university also tried it with
Yeah.
steps, but we need to difference here. So the first mistake in energy harvesting many people do, they use the wrong application area. So regardless of the energy converter and the efficiency of the energy converter, a certain application area has a certain potential.
Yeah.
So for example, if you calculate with easy mathematics, the energy of a footstep of a plate which is moving 5 millimeters, it's 9.81 meter per square second, multiplied with 0.05 meter, multiplied with, let's say, in a good shape, I do have 100 kgs, multiplied with 100. So you get out 3 joules.
Yeah.
So 3 joules means in kilowatt hours, to translate it into energy language of energy experts, it's 0.0000083 kilowatt hours or something like that.
Yeah.
So many zeros. So if you calculate it up, it's 1 million steps to get, I don't know, a kilowatt hour or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's the wrong application area. You can have a mechanism with 100% efficiency.
Yeah.
It brings you nothing because you can't make a profitable business out of it.
Yeah.
So,
this is incredible. Quickly jumping in here, we might have a lot of listeners that are still exploring ideas, right? Did you really approach that systematically? Did you say, okay,
yes.
I have like so you basically looked at all areas that are important, different applications, different mechanisms, and you just tried to piece together the perfect mix. Is that what you did?
Yes. And I started also with different planets. So I started realizing for looking for unconventional energy sources, what differentiates our planet from other planets. For example, it's the gravitational force.
Yeah.
Because then you realize which numbers you need in the calculations, that it makes sense, and which type of mass you need starting that is getting interesting.
Incredible. So then you calculated a threshold which probably got you to trucks.
Yes, exactly. That's how it worked. I just solved it systematically. Yeah. So I made at the end a list of 200 problems I need to solve to get to a mechanism which really can fulfill everything to be efficient and durable enough to make a profitable business out of it. And at the end, these 200 issues made, of course, if you solve one issue, you get 2 or 3 more issues. So at the end, it costed me 1.5 years to kill all these problems.
Yeah, it's incredible that you say this, because I think so many people believe they just need to find an idea in a couple of weeks, right? And as you say, it's such a complicated problem.
Yeah.
And if you do something that no one has ever done before, it probably takes a little longer time, right? So I think a first big takeaway here is take your time. If it's a year or 2 or 3, do the hard work until you figure out, that unique advantage that your technology could build. So that's the problem part of things, right? So you figured out, okay, here, like I can at least solve like a big problem, but how did you go into actually building it and seeing what is feasible?
Yeah, that's also a good question, because it took a bit time. Yeah. So you need to understand, I also needed the proof for myself. So I made a lot of simulations and calculations, and it lasted, let's say, 2.5 years when I started building it.
But again, you started with simulations, right?
Yeah.
Which is free and fast, which is, I think, another great lesson. Start running experiments that don't cost you a lot of money or time, right? And then once you've done the simulations, you went into actual prototypes. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's the whole process we also do have now in our company culture too. Because so if we want to solve a problem, we make quick, easy calculations. Yeah. Just to see in theory if it makes sense or not. Yeah. After the simulations, when we realize, it makes sense, we go into 2D simulations, not 3D. 3D costs you too much time, too complex. 2D is already enough to realize under different conditions if it works or not. Sorry, third time. I hit the mic.
It's going to be the theme of the podcast.
So yes, and the first step, the third pillar is a prototype, but in a smaller scale. So let's say 1 to 20, for example, because then you just scale it up in numbers. That's 50-50 true, to be honest, because what I also learned in research when I made everything in smaller scale, just for example, the first simulation, with a smaller prototype was 1,000 times less energy output than the simulations, because there was a mistake in the smaller scale, which you do not have in a bigger scale.
Yeah, there's a lot of non-linear effects
Yes.
that you extrapolate into the real world. I couldn't agree more.
Especially if you work with small numbers in 0.0038 seconds, and then you measure 0.0035 seconds. You think it's not much, but 0.001 is a lot.
It compounds,
Yeah.
right? It's like 1/20th decimal place change in a weather measurement. And 7 days later, it's sun instead of rain because of that 20th decimal place, right? And that is chaos theory, which also explains what you just described. Amazing. Okay, so you've ran all of these simulations, and then I assume you started building stuff.
Yes. So the whole story started trying to build it when I went to my university's tech transfer, you call it, because everybody in university told me, if you have a good idea, you need to go to the tech transfer.
Yeah.
Because if it's good enough, they make a patent with you, you can make a company spin-off and so on.
Yeah.
So I went with my 1.5 years of research and a lot of sleepless nights to this tech transfer with a book. I already told some people, I want to go to the tech transfer. Everybody told me, what do you want to do? Make your studies. You know, they were not convinced of it, but I still went there, yeah.
It's a very European thing, isn't it? It's like, why are you doing something different?
Yeah,
right? Like,
really.
be normal. Like, go back to the lecture hall. And why are you doing, like, the 4th semester? Do the 2nd semester. Do it in order, man. Like, it's designed, like, to go on this. And I think you break this pattern multiple times, and that's why you're building something incredible, right? Because you go out of the box, right? So another example of you saying, I don't care, it's early, I'm going to tech transfer, and let's make something happen. So how did that go down?
Yes, and just to answer this, especially you go to the tech transfer with a PhD. So you need to have a PhD to go there.
Yeah.
But also here I thought, why not? They need to listen to it. It's good what I made. So we could change something together. So yes, so everything ended up that I had a big fight with the tech transfer because
Tell me all about it.
I didn't have an employee relationship with my university because I was still in the bachelor degree. So
good for you.
Yeah, good for me, yes, but bad for university.
For
because they were fascinated by the idea and by the mechanism and wanted to make a patent with me.
Yeah.
So we started the process, and then they were realizing I'm just in a bachelor degree. So they told me, why didn't you tell us this? And now we need to change something in the mechanism. So to keep the story short, they wanted to change something which would have destroyed the elegance of the mechanism and what would have make no sense at all.
Why does that have to do anything with your degree?
You mean the employeeship?
No, changing something in the mechanism.
Changing something in the mechanism had to do with my degree, because if they wouldn't change anything, it's 100% my rights. But if they change something, their name will be on the patent.
Yes. Okay.
So that's the big difference.
Okay. So it didn't have to do anything with your degree. They just did that in order to participate in the future value creation.
Exactly. And that they can also prove, yes, you learned everything from our university. You came through our university to this idea, and this Professor X helped you. Yeah. So that's why it's on the patent.
Okay. Got it. And then what did you do? Like, how did you combat like all of that pushback?
I had a big problem with this approach of university because it felt so unfair that they wanted to be on the patent. So I had 3 exams and 1 practica left to get my degree. And I decided in this fight with this university professor that I will leave university, because he gave me ultimatum. He told me, if you don't let my name on the patent, you will not get a degree.
What?
Yes.
Okay, that I guess is illegal.
Yes. So I just remember when he put the sheet with 1 finger, and I don't get the picture out of my head. It's already 6 years ago. But he took the sheet and was so aggressive and threw the sheet from the table and told me, if I don't do this patent with them, I have big problems and stuff. So yes, it's illegal. It happens, I think, also many universities, but at the end, they get usage of their position also.
Yeah, greed is a very powerful human driver.
Yeah.
I'm very happy you circumvented the greed, right? So how did you handle that situation?
I left university. So I...
Do you have a bachelor's degree by now?
No.
You don't?
I don't
Nice.
have... No. I don't have a bachelor.
So you like Mark Zuckerberg. And Bill Gates.
Yeah, at the first years of reps, I always needed to fight double and 3 times to convince someone because I didn't have a degree. But for now, it doesn't matter anymore because...
In America, it would have been cool. In Europe, it's not cool. But it's changing. I think people are picking up that anything is... And I think that's great. I see a lot of great stuff happening. Okay, so you killed your degree. You said, no matter what, I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah.
And then... Obviously, we know now you did make it happen. It's worth a couple $100 million now. But give us a little bit more like intermediary steps. What happened afterwards?
After that was 1 week very sad. So really sad because I took 1.5 years of my life to invent it. The university professors in my physics study, they were role models for me. Mm-hmm. So it was really a big shock. But after 1 week of sadness, I said, I need money. I need to build this now to prove it. So I had no idea about startups, about ventures, about building a company. I just wanted to bring my invention alive. Yeah. So I knew there was this grant institution called AWS in Austria. So what I did is I wrote...
It's not Amazon Web Services, by the way.
Yes,
for all
exactly.
Of the listeners.
Yes, exactly. I was once in Germany talking about the story about AWS and everybody says, yes, I know it. Then I realized, no, it's not AWS, it's the Austrian virtual.
Jeff Bezos, Austria. Same.
It's not Jeff Bezos, It's a grant institution.
Yes.
So I wrote to the grant institution that I need 10,000 euros to build the prototype. So it's an online formula where you need to type in a university. Mm-hmm. So I left my university. So what I did in a bold young move, I just wrote the next university in my hometown on the sheet. And what happened is that the university called me 2 weeks later, that they got a call from the AWS. What's going on? Who are you? Come over. So I went there to this university and it led at the end to a 3 million grant project.
No way. All right.
Yes.
So you got 3 million.
Yes.
And then?
After 1.5 million and 10 employees later, we had the proof of concept. There is still this video I'm filming myself. We have the breakthrough now. It's efficient. The permanent magnetic bearing is working. Yeah. And at this moment, everything changed radically. Mm-hmm. So
when was this? Just to put it into time.
Into a timeline, it was, let's say, after 1 year together with this university. So I had this research project running since 1 year.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. So there was the moment where it worked and the sheet changed, turned around. So there was no inventor anymore. The university sold themselves as inventors. They made deals in California and with roads. They already had everything done with contracts and told me, Alfons, you're such a good employee. You get 500 euros more. Please go to the lawyer institution of our university. I went there. They told me, look, just 500 euros more. You need to sign here. I said, awesome, but I need to read through it, of course. No, we just changed this sentence. And luckily, I was a professional handball player, so I already paid a lot of blood money and signed the wrong contracts. So I knew I need to read through it. Yeah. So I took it home with me, and there was this sentence that every right of the invention belongs to the university, nothing to me. And they tried it 5 times. And at the last
5 times?
Yeah. 5 times to get rid of me.
Wow.
And the 5th times, 4 university professors were sitting with me in the room, telling me I will not get a job, I will not get my degree, and I will have lawyer costs all my life. So if I don't give them the invention, don't hand over the invention.
Wow.
Yes.
So they pressured you into signing, and what did you do?
Yeah, I said no. So actually, I said to fuck off and left the university. But of course, I always explain it in a nice way. Yeah. I said fuck off and I left and I killed the project. I didn't give knowledge to anyone. I played it around that I got both signs from both universities that it's my invention. Lucky me, in Austria, there is the invention law. It's only in Austria, not in Germany. 100% of the invention, if you can prove that you're the inventor, always belongs to the inventor. So that's what got me out at the end. And I started then, in a 20 square meter
So you
laboratory.
proved it?
Yes, we proved it.
Okay.
We proved it there.
You submitted significant proof that you are the inventor.
Yeah.
And then you were back at almost square one, huh? You had built something, but continue.
Exactly. So then I needed something to build it. So I went into a 20 square meter laboratory. I took all the money I had on my bank account, and on this time it was not much, but I took everything I had. I for example, as I already told you, I deinstalled the motor of my wash machine just to save money in research, to not needing a winding coil machine, which costed 5,000 euros.
Frugality, incredibly important, right? So you said you deinstalled the engine in order to just save 5K.
Yes, it only costed me 100 to 150 euros to do it.
So you ordered a second-hand washing machine, got the engine out of it, and...
No, it was not a second hand. It was the one I had at home. So I didn't wash my clothes
you didn't wash it
for the next 2 weeks.
It's the price you pay.
Yes, of course. That's something you always need to pay. You need to sacrifice.
I love it. Okay, so dirty clothes for 2 weeks, and but you had a proper you had proper equipment in your laboratory.
Yes. So this one I got from second-hand shops, let's say that, or from friends who gave me the research equipment.
Amazing. And then how long did you run the laboratory for, and how did you go back into kind of building a team around it?
I took one employee from my second university directly into this 20 square meter room.
Yeah.
So he already helped me here. So we were 2 people. Mm-hmm. And after, let's say, I don't remember exactly now, but I think after 1.5 years, we had the total proof that we are 254 times more efficient than anything we can calculate or see on the market on roads. So that's where I realized now we are ready.
Yeah. And then what?
Then I directly on the next day. So I remember that I was sitting until 4 a.m. because it's such a obsession, addiction. You want to solve it. Yes. So making research, just that you understand me right here, doesn't mean you go here, you start at 9, leaving at 5, 6. You start at 8 and leaving at 4 a.m. every day since years, because you want to solve something, you want to change something. So I can't change my character, you're thinking all the time, also on sleeping. Since 6-7 years, I only have reps in my mind, which is a bit illness too, I guess.
But I have a lot of deep tech founder friends that have insomnia because they only figure out engineering problems at night. And many of them have their best ideas at night. So they get up at night and they disrupt their sleep, right? And they suffer from real insomnia because, as you say, at one point, your love and obsession and excitement blends into everyday life, right? And it just absolutely takes over, right? Which has beautiful and not so beautiful sides to it.
Yeah.
So you noticed this too, okay? And then what?
Yeah, then I wrote a cold mail, my first cold mail, to the president of all global ports, which is also the CEO of the Port of Hamburg.
And you this was your first ever cold email?
Yes, this was my first ever cold email.
And you wrote it to the CEO of the Port of Hamburg?
Yeah, because I knew there's one guy I need to convince.
Yeah.
And he's the president of this International Association of Ports and Harbors. Yeah. And additionally, the CEO of the 3rd biggest port in Europe.
Yeah.
So I also thought, okay, same culture, Germany, Austria, we speak the same language. It could work.
Yeah. And I mean, there's just to zoom out a little bit, right? First zoom out, I would say is, so for you, of course, you figured at this point, I can do it best if I do trucks. Yeah. And trucks have very heavy loads. We talked about gravity, right? In ports. So you figured ports are your go-to market, right?
Yes, exactly.
And then there's the other zoom out, I would say, is on productivity, right? How are you most productive? You can be very efficient. You can do a lot with less time, and you can be very effective. You can do the right things, right? And I think your story so far shows you doing both a lot really well, right? You could have done all sorts of like easy strategies, but you said, no, there's one person.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's one person that will make all the difference. Everything else is a distraction.
Yeah.
And you went to talk to this person. So what happened after the cold email?
So first of all, I made everything wrong in a cold email you can make wrong. So in the title, I typed in, build a unicorn with us. So why does a CEO of the Port of Hamburg be interested to build a startup? Yeah, and I wrote such a long mail to him. But
I have witnessed your long emails.
yeah, sometimes it's important, you know.
Yes,
but
I loved it.
I also learned
so thoughtful about everything you write. Yeah. But okay, so you sent him a very long email.
Yes, I sent him a very long email.
To a man with a very short attention span.
Yes, and he made it. He also answered 2 days later with, let's say, don't get me wrong, Daniel, you know, Austria, Germany, we love each other, but the German way. So two sentences. He was like, do you have something to show me? Who are you? So something like that. So I
did you send him another long email?
No. Then I realized, okay, I need to keep it much more shorter. But I do have his attention now. So I just wrote, yes, of course we have something. You want to come over? So he directly messaged me, yes, I want to come over. So after 2 weeks, he flew from Hamburg to Tyrol.
Amazing.
Yes.
It's like, just do it. I'm wearing my Nike socks today. Just do it. You just did it. He came 2 weeks later. He was in Tyrol. And then what did you do? Did you just show him around or what happened?
Yeah, it was so funny, really. You can't imagine, because we do have the test track at this time at the metal company.
Yeah.
So I'm a Tyrolean, you know, the CEO of Port of Hamburg. If he flew to Tyrol, that's for us like the president of the United States coming here.
Yes.
You know, so we prepared everything. We made good lunch and food, and he was coming and laughing. And the first thing he said, on a nice way laughing, what the hell are you guys doing here between the mountains? I love it. so that's the thing he said. And I was thinking, nice, I think we're in the same layer. That's something that could work out. So I pitched him reps and told him, we could save your port 10% of the CO2 emissions caused by port traffic. That's 10 million kilowatt hours yearly. We save you 5% of the energy consumption. And additionally, yearly through selling electricity, we make 50-50. Everyone gets 2 million euros. And he was like laughing at me and told me, son, listen, we make, I don't say the number now, I think I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
Son, listen, we make X billion euros. It's in more than 10 X billion euros clear revenue yearly.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in your money. I'm also not here for your money. I'm interested in CO2 emissions and innovations. So listen to me. Install it at the Port of Hamburg as soon as possible. Be sure that it works. And if it works, be sure that you can scale it. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did at the end.
So I remember, this was an incredible lounge, right? The video, I think anyone listening to this should watch the video of your lounge. Is it online? Is it on YouTube?
Yes, we made a 11-minute documentary about it, which shows the whole day, the process of installing it and everything.
Incredible. Like, how did that feel? Like seeing your system deployed in Hamburg, trucks driving over it, and you did the measurements and you were like, it works.
It was crazy. It was really crazy. At the moment of the event, I didn't realize, because you're like in a tunnel. You still need to be focused. You need to see that everything goes well. I still had to present. But the weeks later, I realized we really did it. And we are really
it's crazy that it takes a couple of weeks.
We are really the only one in the world which has a running road power plant. Yeah. Which is crazy.
60,000 trucks.
Already 90,000.
90,000.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like I also, like, I have to say this now, not just building stuff myself, but, you know, helping other people build stuff, hearing these updated numbers, being like, every time you meet someone, it's already outdated. They've already done more stuff, right? And you're certainly one of them. And I want to touch a last topic, and then I guess we need to wrap up. But you also, during this, right, while you got to 90,000 trucks, you raised a rather ridiculous round, right? So many listeners are maybe thinking about raising their first big round, right? So do you want to chat a little bit about, like, how this happened, right? Like how you got to like the race now, and I mean you're still filling the rest of it, right? It's not yet fully over at the time recording. You will be at the grand pitch, right, next week, and maybe find the perfect angels and whatnot on top. So I remember at least when you first told me about it, right? You we were in Austria also, right, at the community house, and you grabbed me and were like, Daniel, like I want to raise around. I was like, sure. And I thought back then maybe you want to raise 2 million, 3 million, right? And you were like, I think I can raise 50 million, right? So
Yes,
I would
I
love
remember,
to.
yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, like let's make it happen. How can we, right? So can you walk me a little bit through how you came up with the 50 million?
Yeah.
And then how the rest of the round transpired. Yeah, I know we cannot talk about everything, but everything we can talk about.
So for me now, really a serious topic, because I don't play around with these numbers just because I want to be a crazy founder, but there's serious interest behind it from my side. So what I try to tell the people is that we invented the quantum computer of mechanical energy converters. So what we invented is crazy, and we can really change a lot in our world. So with this technology, we do have a certain advantage regarding other big companies.
Yeah.
So at the moment, people are realizing what we are really doing. Of course, we now wear many newspapers in Germany, Austria, but at the moment, the world really knows about us.
Yeah.
Things will change quickly. So we already have 70 ports knocking on our doors. We can't fulfill the interest, and at the same time, we need to look.
How many purchasing orders or LOIs do you have? Like, what's the volume?
We do have now 8 LOIs, but I just signed them also to prove that we are in different countries. So it's from governments in the UAE.
But looking at like the overall demand in terms of volume, like how much, if you had all the money in the world, how much volume could you get in terms of like installations and revenue?
Yeah. If you look regardless of the cities, because cities has a much bigger potential than ports.
Let's look at the cities too.
Okay, then we have a crazy number. Because if you look at the cities, it's about 20 to 25 billion yearly through selling electricity.
Crazy. So you were like seeing this gap, right? And it's energy. It's fungible, right? So you can deploy today, if you could, capacity-wise, right? So you don't have a sales issue.
No.
You have a ramp-up issue, right? And that's what encouraged you to raise, right? So I wrote a couple of intros, like others wrote a couple of intros. How do you go about your first investor conversations?
Yeah, if you remember, I started asking you to find some bridge investors. So this was
I remember.
This was the usual idea, that we start finding bridge investors, and then we start after preparing fundraising officially.
Right.
But it escalated so
some
quickly.
Of the bridge investors got a little too excited.
Yeah, some of the bridge investors got too excited, and it escalated so quickly that we directly jumped to higher amounts and higher interests.
I remember angry phone calls from people being like, Daniel, how can I not be in Alfons round? Right? Like they were so angry at me, and I was like, it's like it's your choice, and like you can't dilute 100% right now, right? So another like over demand story, right? Like there was just too much demand for your bridge round, so you quickly turned it around and said like, then let's do a big round, right? Like or at least a bigger one.
Yes, and when we started, we didn't have a data pool at all, so the data pool was slower than we fundraised. But now, of course, we have it, and it's of course everyone proved it,
right?
But
so you don't have to have a perfect data room and everything, right? Like you just need a real reason to raise. And you had a real reason, right?
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, can you maybe give me like the 3 things like that you think anyone building a great company right now should remember when doing the kind of ambitious race you're doing at the moment?
Mm-hmm. So you mean which abilities they should have?
Yeah,
or what
like
it takes.
Which tips you would give them if they would interview you right now, such as I do, right?
Yeah.
And say, Alfons, like, what are your tips to someone who's trying to raise this kind of round?
First and most important tip, be authentic. So as you can hear from me, I'm not the best English speaker, but I think you can understand me. So I never,
Perfectly.
yes, I always tell the truth, also the bad things,
Yeah.
which are important for an investor, because I see it also in these classes, from my classes. I want the investor that helps me.
Yes.
So I also tell him the
So
truth
important.
about everything.
So
And
many
that shows
people
authentic.
believe they raise and
Yeah.
everything has to be perfect, right? It doesn't.
It doesn't, and the investor gets a bad feeling if he realizes there are no bad things. Of course, you're in a startup, there are 100,000 bad things.
Yes.
You don't need to tell everything, but the most important things which you need to solve, and the investor should help you here.
Yeah.
So first and most important advice would be authentic. Be who you are, because if someone don't invest, if he don't likes your person or character, he's the wrong investor.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. What's number 2 and 3?
Number 2 and 3 is hustle. So let's say 2 is hustle. As we also learned through Ivor, don't underestimate fundraising. So it's a full-time job, more than full-time job. So as you said, and I read through, of course, I'm a A+ student at Ivor. I read through your email that,
Yes.
if you have sales, you have this, you have that. Of course, you're in a startup, you have X different things you could do.
Yeah.
But in terms of calculations and simple mathematics you presented, if you now concentrate these 2 months and raise X amount, you're so much quicker with your company than not concentrating on it and raising in 6 months and doing other bullshit. So that's what I did. I concentrated this 1 month where we were fundraising. Hardcore. I was just writing mails, making calls, and all the other things I put away.
Yeah, as the
And that helped a
author
lot.
of this email, I highly approve of this information. All right, so a last one maybe. 2 great pieces of advice. Do you have, you don't have to, by the way, but do you have a third one where you say, like, anyone raising their first round should know this?
One thing I want to state as third advice is that you should define your financing round. Don't let other people or investors tell you what's your worth, or what is your valuation, or what they're ready to give you. It's at the end your financing round, and it's you're the only one who can know the best what is the company worth.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more as well. I mean, you had offers at 40, 80, 150, 270, right? And in the end, it's your choice. You say, hey, like, this is what I believe makes sense. It's also you who has to deal with the consequences if in the end you have to raise a down round. I think you figured out a really great compromise, right? And you said, this is it. This is what I want. And you went with it. And people were very accepting, right? Some people also weren't. I remember this, and they were like, Daniel, can you push him down? And I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I don't have the legal rights, right? Like, and secondly, I wouldn't want to if I had them, because at Evo, we always support the founders, right? And in the end, it needs to be your choice, and you need to find the right people. So I'm so happy that you came in there with, like, the confidence and authenticity and the hustle to make this happen, and you pulled it off. And I think this is a record-breaking thing to go that fast, right, in terms of valuation growth. So big kudos to pulling this off. I hope that the listeners took away as much as I did from recording this episode with you. And thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us and escaping from the mountains into Berlin City.
Into the big city.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Daniel. It was really a pleasure being here today. Always when I talk to you. So, let's go. LFG.
If this conversation resonated with you, there are 3 things you can do to support. First, you can subscribe. At whichever platform you're listening to this, there should be a subscribe button. It would mean the world if you subscribe. Secondly, you can share this with someone you believe would benefit from the content of this conversation. And thirdly, you can go to ivor.com/signals and stay up to date on all things Ivor by subscribing to our newsletter. Well, thank you very much for listening today, and see you at the next episode.